I cleared the evening, no notifications, just me. The couch and a book I had been waiting 2 years to read. 10 minutes later, my hand was on my phone. I did not decide to pick it up. My hand moved before my mind caught up. The book was still open in my lap. The screen was already glowing. Here is what nobody told me about reading. It's not a mental skill, it is a physical one. It lives in the body, and the body can forget. I have ADHD, and for years I thought my inability to read consistent was a discipline problem. It is not. It's a nervous system problem, and once I understood that, everything changed. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 practices that rebuilt my ability to read. Not delete your apps or read 52 books this year. None of that worked for me. What worked was treating my reading brain the same way I treat a muscle. Small reps, contact with discomfort, and learning to want the soreness. The ADHD reading problem. So when you sit down to read and you do not absorb a paragraph perfectly, your brain does not register it as normal friction. It registers it as confirmation. See, you cannot do this. The book closes, the phone comes out. This is also where the perfectionism comes from. If you grew up believing that getting things wrong will cause you connection or safety, you develop a hair-trigger response to any sign of failure, a page you did not fully understand, a paragraph you had to reread, a day you skipped. ADHD brain treats this as evidence that the whole project is broken. For years, I could work around this. When a book interested me, hyper-focus would kick in and I would vanish into it for hours. But anything quote-unquote I should read that was beneficial but not electrifying, I could only skim. Quick scans for the takeaway, no depth. Deep reading was not a skill I lacked. It was a state I could not reliably enter without the right emotional condition, and then the phone made everything worse. The science. Nicholas Carr in The Shadows describes exactly what happened to me. He was a writer his whole adult life, someone who lived inside books. And by 2007, the internet has rewired him so thoroughly he could not get past a page without getting fidgety and looking for something else to do. He does not have ADHD. He was not raised on TikTok. This man had a fully formed reading brain, and it still happened. The mechanism is neuroplasticity. What you repeatedly do, your brain gets better at. What you stop doing, you reallocate. I have been building high-speed highways for skimming and switching. The deep reading paths are still there, they just got quieter. This is not moral failure, it is structural. And if it's structural, it can be rebuilt. Here is how. So reframe. When you go to gym after months away, your muscles get sore. The soreness is not a sign that you are failing. It is a signal that the work is happening. You want the soreness, it means you're bulking. Reading is the same. When you sit down with a book and your brain starts screaming for the phone, that discomfort is not proof that you're bad at reading. It is the sensation of a weak circuit being asked to fire. This reframe changes everything for me. I stopped treating the urge to check my phone as a failure of discipline and started treating it as a training metric. Every time the impulse rises and I stay for 1 more second, I log a rep. The soreness is the evidence. I'm not avoiding discomfort, I'm collecting it. For practices, here is how this actually works. Practice number 1. Start small. Do not sit down to read a chapter. I sit down to read 1 page. That is the whole assignment. The goal is not to finish the book. The goal is to rebuild the neural pathway that lets me stay with one thing for more than 90 seconds without my hand reaching for the phone. Some days, 1 page becomes 10. Some days, 1 page is just 1 page. Both count. The metric is not volume. The metric is contact. Did I make contact with the page with my body in the chair without fleeing? Yes, then the circuit got a rep. This is the same move I learned on the bike. I call it the macro pause. When I'm approaching a speed bump and my body wants to lock up, I close off the loop of remembered impacts. Just for 1 second. I let my spine curve, the shock distribute. With reading, when the discomfort rises and my brain starts scanning for exit, I do not fight it. I notice it. I sit with it for 1 more second. The tolerance window widens in increments of seconds. That is the whole intervention. 1 second starts there. Practice number 2. Register the struggle. This is the one that changed everything. When your brain wants to flee the page, you register it as a positive data point. Say it to yourself, my brain wants to flee. Good. That means I'm in the growth zone. This is the wrap where the muscle grows. My brain mid-chapter goes like this. We could check the phone, just one notification, just to say, the book will still be here. The book is literally in your lap. The impulse is not the enemy. The impulse is the workout. You log it, you stay, you turn the page. You do not need to feel calm. You do not need to feel focused. You just need to not move your hand towards the phone. That is the wrap. The discomfort is the evidence that the circuit is weak. Stay with it. Let it fire. The soreness means you're building. Practice number 3. Name the perfectionism. ADHD and perfectionism are the same word. If you learned as a child that mistakes cause you safety, your nervous system treats a page you did not fully absorb the same way it treats danger. The instinct is to stop, to close the book, to scroll until the bad feelings goes away. The counterweight is not generic positive thinking. It is the specific practice of noticing when the perfectionism is driving and naming it out loud. I will say to myself, I just reread the same paragraph 3 times because I'm afraid I'm not absorbing it correctly. That is perfectionism. The goal is contact, not comprehension. I can keep going. I saw a post on X that put it perfect. The hardest part of ADHD is not starting a habit. It is doing it perfectly for 10 days, missing one day, and your brain immediately acting like you never did any of it. The fix is not to never miss. The fix is to interrupt the story that 1 minute erases the whole project. Missed a day. That is a data point. The streak continues tomorrow. This is self-permission as a learned skill. You are going to draft. You are going to reread. You are going to miss days. Now that means the practice is broken. The permission to be imperfect is the practice. Practice number 4. Connect to slow dopamine. Reading is not the goal. The goal is to regain the ability to tolerate slow reward. This is called slow dopamine. It is working without headphones, cooking from scratch instead of ordering delivery, sitting with a thought until it becomes an idea instead of reaching for the search bar, staying in the conversation past the point where it gets uncomfortable, doing the same thing day after day without novelty, without external validation, without the little hit of a notification. The phone trained my brain to expect reward in seconds. A like, a reply, a new post, the gap between action and outcome shrank to nothing. But everything that matters compounds in that gap. A business strategy that took months to form, a relationship that survived the awkward phase, a skill that took years to feel natural, money that accumulated because you did not spend it the moment you had it. All of these run on the same wiring. The ability to delay, the ability to stay, the ability to trust that something is happening even when you cannot feel it happening. When I sit down to read one page, I am not just practicing reading, I am practicing the gap. And that practice leaks into everything else. Both. I want to be honest about something. I still pick up my phone mid-chapter. Some days I do not read at all. The craving does not go away. I have not solved this. I'm not sure it's solvable in the way we normally mean that word. What I have is a practice, a way of returning. The phone is not going anywhere. The internet is not going to become less addictive. My ADHD is not going to suddenly develop an internal filter. The conditions are what they are, but the circuits are still there. They are just waiting for contact. Start with one